what I have realized in my own community, Laventille East Movement, is that there's a lot of young people with guns.
These young people are not getting these guns.
You believe that we're not a democracy? Because people would like to believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy. But do you 100% believe that Trinidad and Tobago is not a democracy?
Come on. Yeah, that's with secret passage, really.
Yes, absolutely.
Alongside myself, you Tom Chairman. Precious, tell us where we're at, because we're in Chigoanas.
So we are in the land of Chigoanas right now, and we are located at Edinburgh 500 Chigoanas. Now we are going to show you during the time of 2020 August, you know, the heat of elections, we were noticing a lot of these buildings. Look at this dilapidated state. Someone right now wish they could have got a home to live in.
The Progressive Empowerment Party says that the dump there at Port of Spain that enters into your capital city, we will remove that Port of Spain dump.
Good night, Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the live broadcast. David Welch, host of What's Next, joined by Precious CRUICKSHANK tonight. Good night, Precious.
Good night, Mr. Welch, and how are you?
I am well. I'm doing well. I mean, I can't complain. I really cannot complain. But good night to everyone joining the live broadcast right now. Remember to share the live broadcast as much as possible tonight. For those of you on our social media pages, follow the social media pages, the What's Next page. We're streaming live on YouTube for those of you that want to catch us on YouTube at Trinidad Broadcasting Network on YouTube, as well as the Philip Edward Alexander's YouTube page. For Facebook, we're all over on Facebook. We're on the TBN Facebook page, the David Welch Facebook page, the What's Next Facebook page, the Progressive Empowerment Party Facebook page, all over.
And
all
guys,
over.
What's Next? We do have a Facebook page, so go on there, like and share our videos, because the information that you're receiving, you want others to be informed as well.
Exactly. So, Director, put up the image of tonight with the Commissioner of Police, a new release, and also check the ticker for me, but go ahead. This here, Precious CRUICKSHANK, and the first story that we have attached right now is the fact that the United States Department calls for a full human trafficking probe. All right? They call for the government of Trinidad and Tobago to thoroughly investigate all claims of human trafficking. Change the ticker. All right? Now, the United States Department is urging the Trinidad and Tobago government to investigate. This here is from the Commissioner of Police today, and I must say the Commissioner, you're actually doing your job at least. The Commissioner of Police, Earl Christopher, has ordered an investigation into allegations of human trafficking currently in the public domain. Following a meeting with the Director of the Counter-Trafficking Unit, Commissioner Christopher appointed a special team of officers to investigate the matter. I must say, and it came after Trinidad and Tobago, days of us talking about human trafficking consistently over and over and over on this platform. For those of you that know, and for those of you on my social media page that saying that we have nothing to do and we just be a nuisance and this and that and all kind of nonsense, what we actually fighting for is for the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not just the people of Trinidad and Tobago, but also those that are trafficked to Trinidad and Tobago from Venezuela, Costa Rica, wherever, Puerto Rico, wherever, Colombia, all of the people, all of the non-nationals of Trinidad and Tobago. Humans are being trafficked in this island.
And David, you know what? When people say, you know, those ridiculous comments, because I see it as they are not having anything to do. They need to do something with their life and come off of social media. But again, they are listening to the information that we are sharing for them to say that we have nothing to do or assume. But we are here because there is a purpose for us being here. What's next? It didn't just come out of, you know, we just sit down and say, oh, let's go and do a live, David. No, because there are issues that we see every single day, and it affects us as young people in a society. And if we want to elevate ourselves in a country, there must be elevation first for us to even step into that light. And we saw that our country wasn't going anywhere and still isn't going anywhere. But at the same time, we decided we want to be a part of the change and the positive change for the future for Trinidad and Tobago. So it's not like we don't have anything to do. We do work, you know, if people don't think we don't.
No, that's true. Huh? Now, for the entire week, we've been talking about human trafficking, and we've been talking about, I mean, you came to that and said, this again? When Precious saw the script, she's like, this again? And it's the first thing on our page tonight.
Yes,
and
yes.
I wanna say it's the first thing on the page tonight because it's a matter that is very, very urgent. It's a
Yeah.
matter that deserves the amount of attention that we're putting on it. If it is members of the United National Congress as well as members of the People's National Movement are found complicit in this, especially as Earl Christopher, Commissioner of Police, is launching or has launched an investigation, I hope to God that what the Prime Minister said in the Parliament about the courts is not true.
And of course, David, it's kudos to the Commissioner of Police for launching this investigation, because years have gone by. This is not current. This has happened in the reports they stated between 2010 and 2015, and it was alleged
upwards to 2020 it's happening again,
and it was alleged in
into
2020 that government officials were involved in human trafficking. So why something wasn't done then? But I mean, everything happens in its time, and I guess now is the time for, you know, a new commissioner to come into play and do what needs to be done to ensure and to secure Trinidad and Tobago and our individuals, our citizens, because it's not just outsiders, it's our citizens that are being human trafficked, right, across the world. And sometimes you want to know young women that go missing and they can't find them anymore. I can't recall the young lady's name, but she was from South Penal and she was a hairdresser. And up to this day, they cannot find her. I mean, we don't want any more like her to ever go missing. And of course, you would speculate, you know, she has been trafficked, but you know, you don't know. But then she has kids that would never see her again. So to avoid and to bring some type of closure to this situation, investigation, a thorough investigation needs to be done, and hold government officials accountable for their actions. You can't be in power and just say, okay, you get away with things. No, the law applies to you as well.
Correct. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, human trafficking has been going on for a very long time within this island. This is an island that has the most amount right now of nonsense taking place. Our corruption index is through the roof as far as you understand, or as far as you know. Now, human trafficking is an issue that has been plaguing Trinidad and Tobago for a very long time. We have, or had, just about 7 months ago, a young lady, a refugee, that experienced sexual trafficking, human trafficking, at a very alarming scale in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, she's willing to work with the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service in busting this ring that is now being discovered, or that has been discovered, or that everyone seems to be talking about, a CARICOM study in 2019, and now the U.S. in-person report, trafficking in-person report, dated 2022. This clip was by CNC3 7 months ago, and I'm urging the commissioner to at least follow up on this investigation. Take a look.
Back in February, Julia was among a group of young women who journeyed from Tucupita to TNT in hopes of a better life. Here's the thing, Julia isn't her real name. And that luring promise also was not real, as the occupants of the vessel would soon learn.
Cuando yo llegué, me llevaron fue para el spa y me metieron al cuarto cuando yo estaba viendo todo, pues.
She said when she went to the spa to see the girl.
Right.
And they took her.
And they took her. And
And they did not allow her to leave.
For the sake of the 19-year-old's protection, we will refer to her by the alias. Julia is key to unlocking a sex trafficking ring that she and others who journeyed across the Gulf of Paria found themselves in. They claim that under the guise of a spa in Chagonas, women are raped.
¿Qué hacían ahí en ese spa?
acostarse con los hombres.
She said she was working on the spa. Basically, every client that come there, they were to sleep with them. prostitution.
On Sunday, 2 teenage girls held by their captors were rescued in an operation by Venezuelan activist Yesenia Gonzalez. They were Julia's friends. She explained in detail the covert criminal operation.
Y las mujeres en ropa interior, a ver cuál les gusta.
¿Tuviste ese del cuarto?
Vi todo eso.
Uh-huh. She said when she was on the room, she was able to see everything, what happening on the spa.
Right.
And she said she saw, ¿cuántas mujeres habían ahí?
Más o menos habían como 12 mujeres.
About 12 women was there, and she was able to see how they screening them and naked and clothes naked with underwear and bra or without bra and underwear.
The image painted by Julia is not uncommon to what other sex-trafficked migrant women convey. According to Gonzalez, sex trafficking appears to be worsening.
There is more places, like for instance in the pandemic, they will have it like in a house, and they will have it like also like a car wash. They're running also, you know, the victim of human trafficking. So what the clients do, they come and they pick them up, and they will take them somewhere and bring them back. So nobody will really be aware of what happened.
Now, CNC3 understands that the police's investigation into the sex ring is ongoing. Julia does not want to be deported and is willing to work with the authorities to bring these traffickers to justice.
That there, Trinidad and Tobago, was a clip done 7 months ago by CNC3. That is 7 months ago. In the report, the lady said, and you heard the news anchor, sex trafficking is worsening in Trinidad and Tobago. They have done absolutely nothing. The Prime Minister has done absolutely nothing and blatantly lied in the Parliament when he said that legislations have been passed to deal with the issue of human trafficking and or sex trafficking in this country or on this island. We have failed to secure the ports of entries. We have failed to utilize scanners entering Trinidad and Tobago to deal with the immense amount of criminal activities going on, gang-related activities taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. So we are not fixing the issues. We are just blaming each other, PNM and UNC, blaming each other inside of the Parliament. But I hope to God that out of this investigation that the Commissioner of Police is launching or has launched into this matter, that something can come out of it. I hope to God that some persons are charged. The U.S. report states that government officials are involved. Government officials, as they will interpret it, and you saw it on the article today, I believe it's by The Guardian, when they spoke to the U.S. ambassador, all right, the U.S. ambassador spokesperson, sorry, they understand, or their interpretation is both sides of the house. So for those of you that in the comments telling us that government means PNM only, that's not how the U.S. interpret it, okay? And even if you want to go through the law books of Trinidad and Tobago, quite frankly, I don't care. The only thing that I care about right now is justice being served, and parliamentarians need to know that they cannot abuse their power and get away with it at all. Outside of that, Trinidad and Tobago, the Ministry of Works and Transport actually signals 50% completed with their phase 1 of road repairs taking place in this country. The Minister of Works and Transport identifies some of 500 various road projects to be tackled in the aggressive repair program for this year, of which it has been completed only 50% of those in that phase or that first phase. Minister Sinanan said that it was expected to be completed by the end of March before engaging in the next phase, which is phase 2 of 250 road repair projects. Minister Sinanan said, and I'm quoting him right now, "We're trying to target at least 500 projects in the financial year which I said, and I'm quoting again, includes all aspects of infrastructure program. The minister said that because of the carnival festivities, it hampered the anticipated program, which began in January. Now, I don't know which roads he actually repairing, though, Precious.
David Welch, before we go into, you know, the roads, just to point out, you see the people of Maclot going up Toko Maclot there. I saw in an article, I believe it's a Guardian, that did the story where these people were actually paving their own road, you know.
Correct.
Because it was so badly damaged and it was just sloping down. And I mean, the people were saying countless times they have reported it and nothing has been done. So they are taking matters into their own hands. And of course, they are taking their own funds to pave the road because, I mean, that is their only route to come in and to go out. So I really, really hope that those citizens and the constituency of their Toko Maclot would be able to see, you know, their road paved properly, you know, and not no, how do you say it, temporary fix.
Well, again, the Minister of Works and Transport, I just want to point your attention just to one major roadway that has been cut off from Trinidad and Tobago.
They fix the hole and stuff by the library, the National Library.
Well, we'll go there and see.
Yeah, we'll
That's
go.
Pothole City, Port of Spain is Pothole City.
You know, you're always seeing water just gushing down by the library, the National Library.
Well, there's some opening the main to like go water. That was now it's not probably not water. It's probably them opening the main to let out the water. All right.
Really?
Yeah, they do that. But I know what you mean. There's Pothole City there now.
Yes,
One
and
set of
also the
potholes.
creation of really deep holes, literally.
Well, I want to advise the minister or point his attention to Miaro. Miaro was cut off completely. Y'all remember that? They put up a temporary road down there at Miaro, and I'm asking the minister, what is going to happen there? Are you going to actually build a road, or are we just going to rehabilitate roads in Trinidad?
Yeah.
You know what they do? You know what's rehabilitation to them? You go right down there in Port of Spain, and you, well, that's where, like...
Victoria Square.
Yeah, right by Victoria Square, going down there. One side of the road paved, the other side unpaved.
Correct.
Is that what the minister is telling us is road rehabilitation? I think he's correct when he says 50%. Because half the road was paved.
Terrible.
The other half is unpaved. They grade down the entirety of the road to pave, right? But you pave one side, they grade one side to pave one side. They don't make sense. The minister does not make sense. I recall this government borrowing $200 million for road. Well, they didn't borrow. I think they were gifted that from the United States or somebody, all right, some entity. But $200 million for road rehabilitation, a road rehabilitation project in Trinidad and Tobago. What going on there? What happened there?
We are still waiting to see it because, and the thing is, we know from experience how bad these roads are. I think everyone in Trinidad and Tobago knows, but we have been up in Aripo.
Yeah, Aripo.
And that road was the worst.
Yeah.
It was indeed the worst situation I've ever seen. And one of the residents told us is that they don't come and fix it. They would the SUVs would just come to a point and that's it. And they would go, and when they actually complain about it, they get no response. And I know the MP for that area is Miss Penelope Beckles.
Yeah.
And I know when we spoke to the resident, she said that the MP was in the area just up to the day before we arrived. So I hope we would visit there again and see if there's any improvements.
Yeah, Precious, go walk there by yourself. But I think tonight you'll understand how bad roads are in Trinidad and Tobago. If you don't already know how bad roads are, Arapuch residents pretended to go fishing inside of a gaping hole at Harris Village, South Arapuch, as they called for the Minister of Works or the Ministry of Works and Transport to fix the Arapuch main road. The potholes are located a stone's throw away from the newly paved Solomon Hochoy Highway extension, and residents say it is causing a significant backup of traffic and vehicular damage. The road is now caving on one side and causing motorists to veer to 1 lane. Take a look at this video.
It's still living in here. It's still living, mate. It's still living. It's still living. One of the fish jump back out there.
It's not just there, because in Komuto, there are also road issues there in Komuto, this time with a contractor from Wassa who dig a hole to fix a main, but cut the main in the process, leaving almost the entirety of Komuto without water. Take a look.
Yeah, Wassa, come now, man. Better than that, man, Wassa, man. Yeah, all you send some contractor to dig a hole to fix the main up here. And what they do? They leave that hole open for about 2 months now, and they cut the main and they leave the main. So the main, the water coming out the main and running out. When you're running out here now, that whole land gonna go down there, because this is the whole land here going down here, watch. Watch the whole land going down on that side there. Yeah. Okay? So let's send a contractor to fix a leak. The contractor leave the hole open, right? Cut the main, look the main right there, watch. They cut the main out. So that whole Komuto not getting no water. Okay? So the whole Komuto ain't getting no water. Well, don't talk for the road. The whole road going down. And you will see this water leaking here. This whole place here going to go down with this water. So the road breaking away up there. It's breaking away here. And it's breaking away the whole on the corner so.
Wassa. So despite roads being paved, Wassa digs it up again. But there are rehabilitation works taking place on some irrelevant roads, roads that didn't need to be rehabilitated. When you look at Ryson Road, all right, Ryson Road, there's a whole pave patch program going on there. That's the name of it, the pave patch program, because that's how they do it. They pave, they leave a gap, they pave again. There's a pave patch program going on with the Minister of Works and Transport, Rohan Sinanan, fooling the people and spending ridiculous amounts of money doing absolutely nothing on roads that don't need to be paved. Roads that need to be paved, or roads that really need to be rehabilitated, such as Princestown, and you go down Point Fortin, you go down to Maruga, those are roads that really need the attention and are getting none of it. Roads that really need the attention too, right down there, Victoria Square needed the attention, but they pave one side, leave the other side unpaved. You go down the entirety of Park Street, Port of Spain, you're in the Bocas, you're riding the Bocas, and imagine ambulances pass there. The hospital is there, and they're riding in the Bocas going down into Port of Spain through Park Street, Port of Spain. Those things need to be fixed, Rohan Sinanan, instead of your incompetence or your blatant disregard for roads that actually matter, and only pave patching roads that you think need pave patching. Go and actually pave, not pave patch, go and pave Park Street, Port of Spain, and go and fix up Princestown, Maruga, Tableland, and those constituencies, Saparia, and all of those constituencies, instead of neglecting the people of San Fernando.
Probably he's going, the next 50% that they are going to work on, probably all those roads are in there. So
all of Trinidad roads need to be worked on. Every last one. The entirety of Trinidad and Tobago. The entirety. And I feel sorry for the people down south, because the people in San Fernando, the People's National Movement completely neglects you guys. This is the neglect national movement, because they neglect the people of San Fernando. They don't care at all, because they can find fairly paved roads in Port of Spain and up on this side. But when you go down on that side, it becomes terrible The infrastructure is terrible.
Now, David, that is one thing, but you know what is another thing? Is the cable barrier system that was implemented by the then Minister of Works, Jack Warner.
Jack, yeah.
You see the condition of those cable barriers. That was placed there for a reason. It's because when persons get into difficulty and probably lost control of their car, they wouldn't go on the other side. So if you're on the southbound, you wouldn't end up on the northbound and end up killing innocent people or injuring innocent people. That thing has fallen apart. No maintenance. What is going on? That's supposed to be maintained. So you're trying to tell me Minister of Works come, Minister of Works go, and you all never saw that and consider to repair that? That cable barrier system is important. And you know when they would start to repair? When something starts to happen, or something happens where a car that is heading southbound end up on the northbound, killing innocent people, and then they would talk reactive, of course. They would talk about, we are going to fix this, and this was in the works of fixing, and this was whatever. No, maintenance is important, and this maintenance is something that government come, government go, don't consider.
That's true. And those cable barriers are very important. As Precious just stated there, the cable barriers are very, 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 very important. I cannot stress out. But going down the highway or going up the highway, wherever you're coming from, if you're coming from San Fernando to Port of Spain or Port of Spain to San Fernando, the highway is ridiculous. It is disgusting to look at. The medium in the highway where you're talking about, where the barriers separate the two highways, and you have the medium there. It is ridiculous. It's full of bush. It's full of old car parts. It's filled with the barriers are broken down, and this needs to be addressed. But we have a highway division that is supposed to be addressing those things attached to the Ministry of Works and Transport. So Rohan Sananan, as part of your 50% program or your phases, or because you shedding tears, so this time you're shedding 2 tears, one in 50%, the other one in 50%. Have the various divisions attached to your ministry do their jobs. That's all I could say. Have them do their jobs. The highway going up to Chaguanas, you have dirt on the highway. That is dangerous for vehicles, dangerous for the tires. Look at the medium that police officers are parked, where emergency vehicles are turning alone. Look at the medium. Look at how it looks. Look at all the debris on the floor, on the ground. Look at it. Have that fixed. Have that addressed. But no, we won't do that. We paving ridiculous roads. We not doing anything. We just poppy showing the people of Trinidad and Tobago and telling them that you're doing something. You're working.
And let's not talk about these solar lights. I think on the highway, I think passing up and down going to south, you see one of them. No, not just not working, David. It's fall. It's literally lying down.
That's true.
Right? And weeks after weeks, no one is considering where's the highway division?
It will take Jack Warner to come and do something about that.
You,
Jackie, where
are you at?
You're shaking Kamala hand, I forget. But for those of you that are looking at solar lights, apparently there were solar lights in the sky last night. You saw it?
I did not.
You didn't see the solar lights in the sky last night, Director? I have I have a picture there, I believe, of Elon Musk. Just put up the picture. Right, look at there. You saw that? You didn't see that last night?
No.
Are you serious?
I'm so serious, David. After what's next?
It was out. No, but that was in the sky last night, as you spoke about solar energy and stuff like that. And you know, a lot of persons thought it was a dragon roaming the night skies. People thought it were aliens. Aliens! Oh my gosh, they are real. We saw them in the sky. Now, unfortunately, not to burst your bubble, but it was not. And I just called Elon Musk's name because that day Trinidad and Tobago was Starlink. All right? So those were the Starlink satellites, constellations that were spotted over Trinidad and Tobago last night. So this went viral. Trinis were really, really interested. So what is in our night sky? I saw a person saying, and you know, the memes were tremendous, that Rowley's family come down in Trinidad and Tobago to torture us even more. But despite all of that, this was a video that was shared to social media about what was in the sky. So director, give me, what is that in the sky?
What? That's why I go viral. Don't get left coming up on my phone now. Not sure,
Real.
you see anything I keep?
Yes, why?
Hey, come down.
Yeah, man. Thing I seen here, what's that, boy?
Man, come quick, boy. Come and see this, boy. Come here. Come quick here.
Hey.
What's that? The shoot down. For you at home, right? See it? Alright.
Yeah, could you show how like it normal is?
It's them white bird can't fly so high, boy. I ain't seen
It was lighting up before, you know.
Yeah?
Where was it?
Oh, they not no bird dog, what's so high that thing, dog?
Look at this up here, yeah?
Last time I ain't seen it again.
What the hell?
Look at it.
Something in the sky.
I'm telling you, they were.
What is it? Is it an alien?
Is it a
it
bird?
Bigfoot? Is it what? Something.
Well, unfortunately, to burst many of your bubbles again, it was just Elon Musk and his Starlight constellations in the sky. For those of you that don't know what it is, and it is the future of the world, it's the future of technology. It is the book of Revelations coming alive, Trinidad and Tobago. The book of Revelations, for those that are Christians, that speak about the connectivity of the entire world, and now the one world currency is coming.
It's coming.
You all know that.
It is coming.
So what y'all saw in the nighttime skies last night, at least in Trinidad and Tobago, or in Trinidad to be exact, was the new era of internet. So that Starlight, well, the Starlight, Elon Musk Starlight constellations, the Starlink satellite, will be, or it's at least it's put out to connect the entire world together through faster internet speed. It promises never to slow down internet, you will never have to go through buffering internet again. And it also promises to connect the world no matter where you are at.
Yes.
Whether you're on a cruise going sailing over the ocean, or you're in Trinidad going over by Chagonas, they're going down into that ditch, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And Freeport as well. When you go down that highway, so internet gone. It promises to never have that occur anymore in any part of the world. No matter where you're at, those satellites are going to connect you to the internet through fast speed, no matter where. Now, the shocking thing, or the surprising thing, same thing, shocking, surprising, doesn't matter. But these starlights are very, very, very close to Earth. And we have a nice small video on that, just so that you can know exactly what is in your nighttime skies moving forward in the future. Take a look.
You're looking at 60 satellites hurtling into the sky. And over the next few decades, Elon Musk is hoping to send 42,000 of these satellites to space, 15 times the number of operational satellites in orbit today. It's part of Starlink, the expansive constellation from Musk and SpaceX that hopes to bring the world low-latency, high-speed internet, promising no more buffering and nearly instantaneous internet in every corner of the world. But experts worry it may come at a hefty cost for space exploration. Nearly half of the world's population does not have access to the internet, because most internet options require an extensive track of costly underground cables, leaving many rural locations offline. And while satellite internet can reach those areas,
traditional satellite internet is provided by a bus-sized spacecraft that is launched 22,236 miles into space in orbit around Earth.
That distance means the satellite can reach places that cables can't. But since that one satellite is meant to service a lot of people, its data capability is limited, which then limits connection speeds. And that signal has to travel a long way, creating a lot of lag. This is where Elon Musk and SpaceX come in.
Starlink is a globe-encircling network of internet beaming satellites that is trying to get you online no matter where you are in the world.
And there's a rather persuading element for SpaceX as well.
Elon Musk has said he's just trying to grab a small percentage of $1 trillion a year telecommunications industry around the world. If SpaceX can pull this off, the company could net about $30 to $50 billion a year.
Musk and SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell say that much money could single-handedly fund the development of Starlink, Starship, and SpaceX's Mars launch infrastructure. As of early October, SpaceX has launched more than 700 satellites into orbit, with a plan to release a total of 12,000 over the next 5 years, half of them by the end of 2024. And Musk wants to add another 30,000 to that, coming to a total of 42,000 satellites circling Earth. All of these satellites will also be much closer, anywhere from 200 to 400 miles above the planet in low Earth orbit.
This reduces the connection delay that is found with traditional internet satellite.
Once in orbit, these Starlink satellites will be constantly on the move, which is why so many are necessary.
The problem is you have to have many satellites orbiting to make up for the fact that you can't stay in one spot above the Earth, because you need several satellites overhead at any one time to cover many users.
Every satellite will connect with several others via laser beams, creating something like the network's backbone. And to actually bring this internet into your home, you'll need to get a pizza-sized antenna. This phased array antenna can aim its beam at whatever satellite is overhead, which will maintain an internet signal in your home. But this scheme isn't without problems. Starlink satellites are bright. They reflect the sunlight and shine it back towards Earth, so they end up looking like bright, moving stars. As cool as it may look, that comes with problems.
Starlink satellites are most visible in the night sky right before dawn and right after dusk, which is the exact time that astronomers are hunting for near-Earth objects or asteroids, objects that could hit Earth and possibly harm us.
And as more satellites go up, so does the likelihood that they'll interfere with astronomers' views.
If Starlink continues to be a problem for these type of sky surveys, we may not have as much notice as we want to detect a near-Earth object and thwart it and prevent it from hitting Earth.
Beyond detecting deadly asteroids, the wall of satellites could also obstruct the search for new planets or even black holes.
SpaceX realized it had to do something, and it did. It created what's called a darksat, which is a satellite that has all of its shiny parts coated in a very black, dark material.
It also tried adding visors to shield those shiny parts from the ground. But unless the satellites are cloaked like a spaceship in Star Trek, technology that does not exist, none of this will fully solve the problem. And even if it did, there is a much bigger issue at hand.
There's a concern about space debris because when you have so many satellites in the closest, tightest, densest orbits around Earth, there's a higher chance that those satellites could collide with each other or with other satellites.
Those crashes would create clouds of debris that can orbit the Earth for years, decades, or even centuries.
And that debris can then disable or cause other satellites to crash into each other, creating even more debris, and this problem spirals out of control in an effect called the Kessler syndrome. And if we reach that, then essentially space is too unsafe to access.
To be clear, the risk of a runaway Kessler syndrome is very low.
But the potential impacts of that are so high that scientists are working very hard to control such an event from ever happening.
SpaceX has said its satellites can automatically move out of the way to avoid collisions. But dozens of SpaceX satellites are already disabled and can't move at all, posing a potential threat. And those concerned with SpaceX's plans are lobbying the FCC to rein in the company and more strictly regulate low Earth orbit. And that could make it more expensive and harder to deploy the planned 42,000 satellites. But it doesn't stop at Starlink. Amazon's Kuiper project, OneWeb, China's Hongjian, and other projects are looking to challenge SpaceX by launching their own global networks of hundreds or thousands of satellites. If they all got their way with little to no regulation, we could end up with 100,000 satellites encasing our planet within the next 10 years, dramatically increasing the risk of blocking off space for everyone.
The future of the world is in Elon Musk's hands.
Look at that. The
tell
future
you.
is in Elon Musk's hands.
Yep.
But great initiative.
It
I know
is.
the future is technology, and technology is the future, and continuous advancement of technology we are seeing happening, and that is where the world is heading to. I mean, of course, we just heard about the advantages and the disadvantages of such, and the space debris can cause
those things are raining down on aid. But light rain, God coming back anyway, right? Right, Christians?
Things happen. Stop it. Don't do that.
Well, the Christian faith was up in some showing this week gone with the is the Archbishop, yeah, the Archbishop and stuff
I
like
heard he remixed Hard Fest.
He remixed Hard Fest.
I saw, yes, I did.
Anyway, no, forget
Something
that.
I'm not gonna
Forget
watch
that.
it. If I get it, I'll send it to you, of course.
Anyway, so speaking about skepticism and speaking about new initiatives, the Commissioner of Police to Trinidad and Tobago, and we're back down on the ground now, where the hellfire is raining down on Trinidad and Tobago. The Commissioner of Police to this republic, Earl Christopher, has the initiative to put a dent in the amount of murders taking place in Trinidad and Tobago by
I mean, she's confident in herself and in her ministry to do what they have to do. And if she has been given a mandate, she's going to ensure that it is carried out to her best ability and give her the benefit of the doubt. But I see here, COP.
Well,
come on the
yeah, of course, he will jump out, but I will not be given this Commissioner of Police the benefit of the doubt, because there's not a realistic plan. To deal with crime, you need a realistic plan.
That is true.
You cannot tell me that in 2 months from now, in March, or April, May, right, 3 months from now, we're in March, you cannot tell me that crime is going to be significantly reduced without a strategic plan. And what is your plan? To put police officers on the streets, to make police officers more visible, to deal with, errant police officers and stuff like that, right? Hello? Nothing, Miss Commissioner or Mrs. Commissioner, that you are talking about now was not done by Gary Griffith. Gary Griffith, former Commissioner of Police, tried to polygraph police officers in the Southwestern Peninsula before the Administrative Division of the Police Service come out and say no to the polygraphing. He tried that. Done deal, they said no. I think he went on with it. Did it ever come off?
No.
He transferred police officers. What do you mean? It took Gary Griffith, and Gary Griffith is correct. It took Gary Griffith 1 year to bring serious crime down. You telling me this commissioner's telling us, watching us in our faces, telling the media, and the media ain't questioned that narrative yet, that within 3 months, you're going to have it down? That had to be the Antichrist.
You think so?
She had to be the Antichrist.
Well, if she is the Antichrist, so let it be, David, and let's see performance.
It is impossible.
Because performance beats
all talk. I agree.
It.
But come with a strategic plan. Don't come to this to the media, and it wasn't under fire just yet. But don't come to us and tell us that in 3 months you're going to have it under control. It is it's very impossible. And I hope to God that I don't eat my words back in June. But the way that Trinidad and Tobago is going, Giant Lodge Media is correct. We're looking at 1,000 murders at the end of the year. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at 1,000 murders simply because Keith Rowley is still the Prime Minister. That PNM administration is still in charge. You have the IMF that's showing that Trinidad and Tobago ain't doing well. The cost of living is rising astronomically in this country, on this island. It is rising. When you look at Barbados, you look at America, you look at food prices. We highlighted the food prices.
Yes.
When you look at it internationally versus here, it is madness. It is chaotic. Look, go to story 10. Farmers have to raise the price of fish by Easter. Easter is right around the corner. 1 month and it's Easter. And the price of fish have to go up. Imagine if people can't afford that. They can't afford chicken. They can't afford fish. What are you going to do?
And the thing is, those persons who cannot eat meat and they could only eat fish, what is their position?
Girl, I want the commissioner to come with a strategic plan to deal with crime and criminality in Trinidad and Tobago. Stop coming with the pussyfooting and the bullshit narrative that is going to be under control. How are you going to get it under control? By putting police officers on the streets alone is not going to deal with serious crime in Trinidad and Tobago. It is not. You have an issue of human trafficking taking taking place. You have all of these things taking place. You have white-collared crime taking place. And I must give Gary Griffith kudos, because he was the only commissioner to go in and bust these human trafficking rings. He's the only man that did it.
Correct.
The only commissioner of police that went after
Arapita Avenue.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then QREP.
Yeah.
With Chinese nationals.
Correct.
He's the only man that did it. After Gary Griffith was gone, you tell me, Trinidad and Tobago, what ring was bust? What prominent businessman house was raided? What was done? Gary Griffith is the only man that didn't only put the level of fear, but walk the walk and talk the talk.
Correct.
He was the man that went in and got it done, despite if people might like him or not.
Or not. That is the thing, you know.
What is Commissioner doing?
Despite if people like him or not, he is getting the job done. And that is what we want. We want a proactive police commissioner. That is what we want. That is what Trinidad and Tobago want to see. Action. Not just talk. We want to see the action being done. And if action cannot be done, well, replace yourself.
He was going after people. He was going after people. It's a fact. The people were afraid to form gangs. So even if they were in a gang, the narrative was always Gary Griffith watching. 482 Gary. That's in everybody's brain. 482 Gary. There are persons that posted WhatsApp statuses saying, look, Gary, now watch my status. Oh, God, they're afraid Gary coming for you.
Exactly.
That was the narrative. You called Gary name, Gary was there. You called Earl Christopher name, oh, God, she's timid. And I'm knocking females. If a female is a police commissioner, fine, that is history. I love it.
It's not knocking females, David. It's knocking
performance
and the office that she holds. And if you are the police commissioner, there is expectations, and we expect to see action. We don't expect to see less talking, less action, nothing. You're not saying anything when questions are being asked. You're not coming forward and answering the questions. We are looking for action. We are looking for a proactive commissioner. And like it or not, Gary Griffith was an action performance commissioner of police. And he was so good that he was getting, I think he had to take some time off for his health. He was putting 100,000% in what he had to do for the country, for our country, for Trinidad and Tobago, for making it a safe place for citizens to dwell.
Trust was being rebuilt in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and they hate Gary Griffith so much that they try to go after Gary Griffith in terms of the people that he hired and this and that and the other.
Yes.
As far as I see it, if he's the commissioner of police, just as you are the incompetent prime minister, and Gary Griffith hires somebody to be in charge of the TTPS media or the social media pages, okay. Gary Griffith brought back that level of trust in the police service.
He did.
I kid you not, he did.
He did.
But anyway, I don't mean to knock the current commissioner of police, Earl Christopher, but I need a better plan. I need a strategic plan. I need to see you on the streets. You need to bring that level of fear back into the hearts of the people when it comes to the law. Not when it comes to your officers being arrogant on the streets and just harassing people or how police is being in Trinidad and Tobago. But the fear of law. This is the law of Trinidad and Tobago. If you break it, you have consequences to pay. Like this. Murder is a serious offense in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
Despite the courts needing to adjust the degree of murder, and we actually needed to adopt the degree of murder, first degree, second degree, third degree murder, and stuff like that. But John Doe, was found with bed sheets at the roadside in Palmyra.
Yeah.
All right? The unidentified body of a man was found at the roadside on Wednesday morning, and we have just video footage of that. So, Director, give me the video footage now. The unidentified body of a man was found on roadside on Wednesday morning in Palmera village on the outskirts of San Fernando. The discovery was made at around 7:30 a.m. when someone spotted the body next to bed sheets about 20 feet from Palmera Link Road in is Bushy?
Yeah, in a
Right.
bushy
And,
area.
oh, sorry, in a bushy area. I thought, yeah, in a bushy area near a fruit and vegetable stall. The people called police, and PC Henry and other officers of the St. Madeleine station responded. The body bore no visible marks of violence. The man was East Indian descent, white, short, gray hair, about 5 foot inches tall, and brown in complexion. He appeared to be about 55 and wore short green pants and a white vest. So God alone knows what happened to that fella there. Yeah. This was this morning, and it caused a little bit of a traffic congestion this morning.
Of course,
at Palmera.
To his family. I mean, he was missing, I guess, and to find out he's dead.
Anyway, a 24-year-old man beat his girlfriend with a cutlass. Police are searching for a 24-year-old man who reportedly attacked his girlfriend with a cutlass at his Pointe-à-Pierre home on Sunday. The 17-year-old victim, oh God, I didn't read that part, you know.
Continue.
17, you know.
Yes.
The 17-year-old victim is in serious condition at the San Fernando General Hospital, police said. A report said around 3:20 p.m. the teenager was with her boyfriend's, at her boyfriend's home, at Christian Drive, what is that? Pleasant Park?
Yeah.
When an argument broke out. The suspect reportedly grabbed a cutlass and struck her several times on her arms,
wow,
hands, and head. He took her to the,
He locked her in the house and left.
I don't know why he's saying took her now.
Yeah, the teenager escaped through a window and sought assistance from the neighbors. Wow. Police said he was likely to face wounding and false imprisonment charges. Look at this. Look at this. However, their investigations will also include the nature of their relationship, as she is a minor and he may face additional charges.
It depends on how old he is. He's real old then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Constable Smith of the St. Madeleine Police Station is investigating. He's 24.
Yeah, he's 24 and she's 17. She's still a minor. And
the parents had to say, boy, this is where parents step in, you know. How you parent your child, and while the world is this world is crazy now, you know.
Social media.
Yes, social media is influencing a lot.
A lot of these young people are influenced by social media and what they see, and it's not real.
That's true.
Right?
A 24-year-old with a 17-year-old, and persons would say age is just a number and this and that and the other. And she's almost of legal age. I mean, you could work at 16. You could vote at what? You could vote at 18. But you could, the legal age to have your ID card and stuff like that is what age?
About 16.
16.
Yeah. You can work.
And you can work at 16. You could drive at 17, as far as I understand. So, all right, we really need to address our laws, because a 17-year-old with a 24-year-old, some may say, you know, it's just 1 year apart.
But again, they need to know the nature of the relationship. And of course, he needs to go into White-Up. He needs some counseling. He needs help. Is this a cry for help? Of course, he's 24. His background, we don't know.
He's 24. Let's be real. 24 is not grown. All right? I'm only 22. In 2 years, I'll be 24. 24 is not grown. Director, 24 is not grown, all right? But still, I mean, all right. Well, as the President Paulama Weeks prepared to leave the office of presidency in Trinidad and Tobago, she actually gave a very nice speech as she served at the Chief Scouting during her as Chief Scout actually during her tenure. But I just want to replay a clip of President Paulama Weeks just dancing and enjoying her time, because, you know, this is the only thing that she ever did as president. This is all she'll be remembered for. So, President Paula, enjoy.
The culture.
Go ahead, Director. Hey, that's all President Paula could have remembered for, you know, dancing with the people of Tobago.
We would not say no to that.
I know what you mean, you know. You're trying to tell me I have no rhythm. That's what you're trying to say. I can dance like the president, you know. In fact, Rowley said dance like David Dancer, in case you don't know.
David, there are much more Davids in Trinidad and Tobago that have rhythm.
I hear you. So anyway, President Paula prepares to leave the office, and President-elect Christine Kangaloo, former President of the Senate, all right, will succeed Weeks when she demits office this month, March 2023. So we get ready for the outgoing president to actually stop being a pencil pusher and our bedroom sleeper. Other than that, expect to pay $50 more actually per pound on fish in Tobago for this Easter. We have a picture of a fish vendor there, Director. Tobagonians can look forward to paying as much as $45 to $50 per pound.
Yeah.
All right, for fish this Easter season, unless the Tobago House of Assembly intervenes with a fuel subsidy as far as what the association is saying. The point was made by Chris Douglas, president of the Tobago Fisher Folks Association, when he spoke with Guardian Media on Sunday. Douglas said Tobago's fishing community is plagued with a plethora of problems. He said the increase in fuel prices has impacted drastically on fish prices. Fish rose from $20 to $25 a pound to $30 and $35 a pound following the increase in the fuel prices. Douglas said the association is asking the THA for a 50-cent subsidy for every liter of fuel. He said a 50-cent subsidy can see fish prices returning to $20 to $25 per pound this Easter.
So they're asking for fuel prices to be subsidized, okay? Let's see if that would happen and, you know, how that cost to reduce, because $50 a pound for fish.
Crime. I want to see Earl Christopher's plan about that when, you know, the adverse reaction to that is people stealing fish. I mean, people already stealing lettuce.
And not just stealing fish, stealing boats. When fishermen go out to fish, you know what would happen? Yeah. You have pirates coming, or you not just pirates, you'll have persons who are out on the sea as well and will hijack people's boats. And then what you'll do, because someone needs an engine, because they want to go out and fish, they want to, you know, make that $50 a pound. What?
We'll see. So Precious, in closing.
In closing, guys, do have a wonderful night. I am tired. I am really tired. But guys, be safe out there. Be vigilant again. It's Lent season, so, you know, during Lent time, people sacrifice certain things in order to, you know, build their spirit man, I guess. So, guys, be safe out there. And David, take us out.
Well, this Lent season, I will be giving up the stress of Keith Christopher Rowley. All right? Rowley, I will not be taking you on this Lent. I hope that we send 50,000 people to Tobago once again. I mean, Tobago, you need the tourism. That's why we do have to pay that amount for fish, because
exactly.
I don't eat fish anyway, so I don't eat fish. I don't like fish.
You don't like fish, David Welch?
I really don't like fish.
Fish has good protein. It's good for you.
Rowley too.
It's not good for you.
So Trinidad and Tobago, thank you so much for viewing. Remember to shoot for the stars and all that you continue to do. If you can see it, then you can be it. Remember that the moment in which you choose to give up is the moment that a new star is born in this republic. Stay safe. Enjoy your night. Good night.
Reach for the stars. First you gotta have a vision. Reach for the highest. If you could see it, you could be it. And I know